My sister-in-law pretends to like me, but is secretly ruining my reputation.
He's like,
So, I, female 26, just got married to my best friend / soulmate, male 33, and I couldn't be happier. Marriage has just been amazing. I don't know how else to properly describe it. Words don't really do it justice.
oh,
By the way, this comes from user Sarcy, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, his family, for the most part, are lovely people. His mom is basically the mom I never had. I have a very strained, distant relationship with mine due to her beliefs and our disagreements of lifestyle choices. I still love her deep down, but I've already grieved the relationship / had some therapy sessions around it, and it is what it is. I do have a great relationship with an aunt who is like a second mom, though.
let's go.
Yes. He has a sister-in-law, don't know exact age, but let's say late 30s. That is everything I'm not. She's very into designer clothes, heavy makeup, Botox, always has nails so long, so I'm not sure how she goes to the bathroom, never wears proper shoes for the weather, and is very talkative, has to be the center of attention. I used to tolerate her for family dinners just fine. She's very different, which I found entertaining, and I do love to hear a different perspective on politics and etc. I also kinda love the fact that she had to always be the center of attention because I do not enjoy that. It starts to get weird when she actively doesn't like me for reasons I don't know and makes it very known. She's forgotten to invite my husband and me to at least 3 dinners we know about. One was her son's birthday party, so we looked extra terrible, but told everyone we were coming, making it look bad on our part. I would have been fine if she just didn't invite us for whatever reason, especially if she didn't want too many people there during the vid. But telling people we were coming is shady. Whenever she does come over to our house for dinner, she doesn't even say hi to me anymore and never offers to help clean up. She expects me or others to play with her kid, who is one of my favorite kids ever, but I, who doesn't have kids yet, I'm not used to entertaining them while trying to cook and host dinner at the same time. My husband and I usually take turns entertaining him, again, sister-in-law's child, unless others are there, which is a nice change of pace and good practice since we want to have kids someday. We've offered to babysit the boy multiple times, but only have done it once as a last resort because she doesn't like when we babysit for no good reason.
What?
What? You're helping out and you enjoy the kid. I don't understand.
The kind of person who's like, you're just offering to babysit because you think I can't parent properly.
I guarantee you that's what it is. But let's keep going. She also almost never helps out when our mother-in-law makes dinner or has us over for a meal, so I usually end up feeling bad and helping her out. Good on you. It's a big family, and depending on what you're making, it can be difficult to cook dinner entirely yourself unless you really plan ahead. The mother-in-law always offers to help when she's over at both the witch's house and mine, the witch being the sister-in-law. Plus, the mother-in-law's food is delicious, so I try to help along with my husband, so we're invited back for more delicious food. Playing checkers.
Playing the long game.
No, they're playing... You're playing checkers, not chess here. You're playing the easy game. This all changed when my husband's sister came into town. My husband warned me about this, but I didn't know it was this bad. She was super friendly to me, which she never is, and was super involved with her kid. I didn't need to entertain the kid at all this time. She offered to help out with things and was so happy we got married. When we initially told her and her husband we eloped on a whim, she didn't even come out of her house to say congratulations. She just said, "Congrats," in an unimpressed tone inside, while we were outside, and walked away. Could you imagine? Just congrats,
Just through a
closes the
screen
door.
door.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's what it is. I feel like whenever you take the center of attention or everyone's giving all their attention to you, OP, she's like, it's her fault.
Just, don't acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Or don't play into the how dare you not congratulate. Just be like, whatever, thank you. Thanks for that heartfelt congratulation.
What I say is just do it with kindness. Just keep doing your thing, be kind, and, because when you make that one wrong move, she will double down on it and make it, blow up in your face.
You just gotta kill him with kindness.
Yep. Also, before we could tell my husband's sister, someone, we know it was her, told her that we already got married when we specifically asked people we told not to spread the news until we were able to tell them ourselves. We wanted to explain a few reasons why we eloped since we did not want to offend anyone. She also just overtook the entire conversation with my husband's sister that he doesn't get to see very often. I felt bad for my husband as he didn't get to spend any decent quality time with her the entire week. This is where it gets super petty. I made a batch of bread using a really easy recipe online the weekend before, while the sister-in-law was over for dinner and her husband really liked it. Uh-oh. You're taking the spotlight. So I told her how easy it was since I always like sharing recipes. She makes a point to make the same exact bread and gift a loaf to her mother-in-law, which she would never do when the sister isn't in town, and pretended like she invented the recipe herself and made it sound like her secret recipe, and it's so hard to make. I know my bread, and I know the exact site the recipe came from. Look at you, OP. You bread maker.
You're like, I know bread. Trust me.
I know the yeast. Then, as I'm helping to clean up after, everyone saw me loading the dishwasher. She audibly goes, "Oh, this is arranged completely wrong. Let me just fix it for you, dear." I just don't respond, and my husband suggested we just sit down. As he could see at this point, I was getting annoyed. I walk into the kitchen later to get a drink and see that the dishwasher is loaded the exact way I loaded it, and she's struggling to turn it on because she's never used it before. She then proceeds to clean the entire kitchen while we played Monopoly since she claimed cleaning was more fun.
Which is honestly fair sometimes.
I have an ICU.
Sometimes people just hate Monopoly.
Or she's just bad at it.
Those are sometimes the same thing.
Yeah, fair. The best part is she made a point to clean where the sister could see her clean, not the normal parts of the kitchen like the counters. No, she literally cleaned the wall because of how the kitchen is set up where the sister was sitting. I felt bad for my mother-in-law since there was still a bunch of gross food in the sink that wouldn't wash down and the counters were soaked. Note, I've never seen her do anything at my mother-in-law's house before, and depending on the vid regulations, we do up to a couple dinners every month together, usually since we all live in the same town. There's so much more to the dinner. I just highlighted some of the unnecessary snark directed at me specifically. It continued with her fibbing about certain things that happened, saying we were invited to things we weren't, claiming she owns a business, but in reality, her husband does all the actual work for the business while she claims to be an influencer. Maybe I'm wrong with the new Instagram algorithm, but my husband showed me her account. She has 90,000 followers and doesn't get more than 50 likes on a photo, or more than a few hundred views on a video usually, using the max amount of hashtags, so that doesn't add up. They're bots.
Bot.
I guarantee you she flaunts it. She pays for that.
I am robot.
She doesn't do it well. Now, my husband's sister is acting weird towards us, and I can't help but think the sister-in-law was gossiping about me behind my back. It seems as soon as we got engaged, her attitude towards my husband and I completely shifted, and she started to actively dislike us. She was the only sister-in-law in the family, so that could be why she's being so mean towards my husband and I. Also, a funny tidbit is they built a new house and designed the kitchen almost identical to how my husband designed and built our kitchen, but yet claimed it was her design. Ours was built before they designed theirs. How do I deal with this? My husband's sister-in-law isn't going away, and I just want to be able to attend dinners and events, if we even get invited, without me getting in a bad mood every time. And if you want to be in a good mood every time, you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. And we have a bit more left. I think what I said earlier is you got to take what's out and, like, you got to talk to them.
I don't even know.
I would talk to them.
Talk to the sister-in-law?
Yeah. You think just cut off contact?
No. You become unbotherable.
Well, no. You got to have a conversation before. This is like everyone's just staying silent. No one's talking here. You got to be like, hey. I feel like the kitchen thing, that's one thing, whatever.
Well, if you
let
actually,
her, like, if she wants to just become you, whatever. But
if you actually want someone to have the conversation, it can't be OP. It's going to have to be the brother. She's not going to listen to OP. It has to be someone who she's related to. It's going to have to be her husband.
Yeah.
But
someone needs to
honestly,
talk
the question at the end there is, how do I go to these events without having a bad time? You have to treat this woman like a child in your head. Like, it has to be like, not someone you're competing with, not someone who's your equal. It's someone who is like a little 7-year-old, and you just need to, like, not take her seriously.
I think that's one case. And then if she says anything, don't do it. If she says,
of course not.
Oh, I'll do the dishes for you, honey. No, don't do it. I'm
Don't
like,
worry,
I'm about done. I got it. I'm just saying it's an ego thing. I think she's just jealous. She wants to be you or wants what you have. But just do your own thing. My husband suggested I just be as passive-aggressive as she is back to her if I wanted to. But it's just not my personality, and I'd rather unalive her with kindness, that kind of thing. But dang it, it's so hard to ignore the things she says and does. If anyone's dealt with something similar, any advice would be appreciated. I have a feeling it's not going to get better, and it's just going to get much worse once we start having kids and get more integrated into the family. My husband has offered to talk to his mom about this, good, which I really appreciate, as the issue started after we got engaged. I don't think it'll really amount to anything, but I do appreciate him standing up for us, mostly me, and doesn't think I'm being insane about what's happening. Other than that, how can I actively not hate being around her? And that's the end of that story.